And it's high time to wake up out of it, man. Okay? Come back to who you are and start paying attention to what's going on in the world, because all of it's going to affect you. Okay? It's going to affect you. You know what I'm saying? It's either life or death. It's going to affect you, man. It's either you're going to die or you're going to live, man. It's going to affect you, man. I'm showing you how this is building up to where these nations getting ready to turn on America, man. And they slowly doing it. I'm talking about turn on America where they going to go to war with them. Full-scale war with America, man. Because America gonna have to fight, man. They gonna have to, man. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing else to offer. Right. You see? They gonna have to. Go ahead, bro.
Says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
That's why these things are playing out, man. Because our salvation is near, man. Us getting delivered out of this condition as a people is getting near, man. It's getting very near, man, to where YAHAWASHI, they're going to make their moves to get us out of this condition, man. But this is a build-up, man. And I'm showing you the build-up through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, how these nations are turning on America. You see? Through the spirit, man. But as like I was saying earlier, the brother was looking it up for me. I couldn't remember if it was Mali or Nigeria, but Nigeria is going to Russia, and Mali is turning away from France and going to Russia, man. That's not heavy in the news like that. And there's wars going on in Africa, man. And the Russians are down in Africa, man, too. You see? And they blew up that bridge. They blew up. When you watch the news today, what's today's date?
It's Saturday, October the 8th, 2022.
Yeah. Okay. October the 8th, Saturday. You see? 2022. Now, they just blew up that bridge in Crimea, okay? Which is in the southern part of Ukraine. It's in the southern part of Ukraine, which connects Ukraine to Russia. That's the main highway, the main bridge. They blew that up, okay? I seen it this morning, man. They blew it up. So that's war, man. That's war, man. That's what's happening. And then America, see, you got, I'm gonna deal with this dumbass region too. Let me see something here. Now, what part of Ukraine is coal mined in?
According to NPR, 90% of the country's coal is believed to be in the Donetsk coal basin in the Donbass region. Prior to the outbreak of armed fighting in 2014, there were 227 coal mines in eastern Ukraine, according to a report by the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, an intergovernmental organization.
So, I'm gonna let y'all hear this, okay? What part of Ukraine is mining done in?
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, Donbass in full Donetsk Basin, Ukrainian Donetsky Basin, Russian Donetsky Basin, large mining and industrial region of southeastern Europe, notable for its sizable coal reserves. The industrial area of the Donbass includes much of the Ukrainian oblasti, provinces of Donetsk and Luhansk.
So you see, and what did Vladimir Putin do? He made the Donbass region part of Russia, the motherland, so-called motherland of Russia. So now Putin got control of the coal, the major mining that's in Ukraine. See, and you use mining for you mine and you get the coal, and you go to these refineries. You go to refinery, not refinery, but coal power plants. Okay, you go to these coal power plants and you use the coal for fuel for electricity. So Putin is taking the gas, which is coal, okay, that you use for electricity, he hoarded. It's his now. You see? And America gets coal from Ukraine, not now. And the main distributors of coal that America gets it from is Canada. Okay? They get it from Canada, Indonesia, they get it from Russia, and they get it from China. Okay? But Russia, and they get it from Ukraine. Okay? But Russia took over the Donbass region, where that's where all the mining is. 90% of the mining is that's in Ukraine. So they took over the eastern, southern part of Ukraine. It's out of there. It's theirs now, from Russia. Now, Russia passed a law to say, look, the Donbass region is part of Russia. Now, before, when Russia was fighting in Ukraine, Ukraine is a sovereign country. That's how the Russians were looking at it in their eyes, in their law. Ukraine is a sovereign country, so we can only do so much in Ukraine because they're sovereign, okay? Our laws, we cannot implement in Ukraine because it's a sovereign country. Once we make the Donbass part of Russia, now the Russian laws, okay, the Russian laws can be implemented in Donbass. Now the gloves is taken off, but we can do according to our laws now. And that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna open up on them over there. Okay? They're gonna open up, they're gonna go all the way, they're gonna take. Now this what's being said on alternative media. You know, they're gonna take all of Ukraine. They're gonna take Odessa, you know what I'm saying, which is the southern part of Ukraine, dealing with the warm water seaports. Okay? They're gonna take all of that. And they're going to get Vladimir Zelensky out of there. They're going to get rid of him, okay? And they're going to go all the way to the border of Poland, man. So they're going to take all of Ukraine. That's what's in the alternative media, okay? They're going to take all of Ukraine. And that's why Vladimir Zelensky is panicking, okay? Now, because he knows that they finna take that, you see? But he want America to strike Russia. America ain't gonna do that. They ain't got no defenses to protect themselves against them hypersonic missiles that Russia got. They ain't got no defenses, man. You see? And like I was saying last week, they think that war gonna stay over there. Okay? They think that them weapons that they sending and what they doing is gonna stay over there, but nah, it's gonna spread, like I was saying. Okay? But it's high time for you Negro Latinos and Native Americans to wake up out of sleep. Now, what I wanna look up is how did World War I start? I want the brother to, which I know. It was assassination. Okay, it was assassination of a prince. Okay, that's how World War I started, and it spread. How did World War II start? You can look it up. How did World War II start? It was because of Hitler invaded Poland. See, it's because Hitler invaded Poland. How did World War III start? You see, you're witnessing it. Right now. So we ain't gotta Google that. You're witnessing it right now. How did World War III start? It's what's going on right now. We in it, man. You see? We in it right now. Read that again, bro.
All right, this is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand.
The night is far spent. But that's talking about the night is far spent, that's talking about sin. Okay? The Negro Latinos and Native Americans living in sin. Okay? Read it for me again.
It says, this is Romans chapter 13, verse 12. The night is far spent, the day is at hand.
The day is at hand to live in righteousness in the day of the Lord. Okay, go ahead.
Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. You see, it said the night is far spent. Let us cast off the works of darkness. Sin. See, both of them is talking about sin. Okay, go ahead.
And let us put on the armor of light.
Let us put on the armor of light, righteousness. Okay, the day, armor of light, righteousness. Okay, dealing with the Lord. Okay, so put off this sinful nature and walk in the spirit of righteousness. Become part of the body of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. That's why it's high time to wake up out of sleep, because we living in a time where World War III is already taking place, and you can see these people walking around, they don't have a clue.
Right.
You see, a lot of people don't even know how World War I started or World War II started. I'm sure people walking around just like this, okay? But it popped off. One war is passed, two wars come quickly, man. World War I, World War II, World War III, man. We in it, man.
And like you said, it's spread.
It's spread. You see? And this is gonna spread, man. But these people don't believe it.
Right.
You see? They don't believe it. You know? But go ahead, bro.
This is verse 13. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness.
Let us walk in the day concerning righteousness. Living, walking in the spirit and living for the Lord, for YAHAWASHI. Okay? Not in rioting. Go ahead.
Not in chambering.
All right, having a lot of sex. Because when you having a lot of sex, that's what your energy is into. That's what you know what I'm saying? That's what you into. You having a lot of sex, that's what you into. But really, you need to be getting yourself right with YAHAWASHI, because we're in the midst of World War III. And when you have sex, you're unclean, so you won't have time to study if you always having sex all the time, because you unclean. You can't read the scriptures and you unclean. When you have sex, it take a day for you to become to get back clean. So if you always having sex, chasing women, well, you ain't got time to be getting yourself right and studying the scriptures and doing what's pleasing to YAHAWASHI. You know, walking in the spirit, but not in the flesh. Because people in the flesh, that's, you know what I'm saying, people that's walking in the flesh and not in the spirit, that's what they think about in the world. Always trying to get with the next woman. Right. That's what these dudes do. You know, always trying to have sex and get with the next woman. Now, I ain't saying there ain't nothing wrong with that, but it's a balance. Right. Okay? Because you got to remember, when you have sex with a woman, you become unclean, man. And you unclean for a whole day. So you need to be getting yourself right with YAHAWASHI, man. Okay? But like I always say, man, starting with the elder apostle GMS on down, that RFID microchip gotta come first before America get completely destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. And you gotta watch out for Iran too. You gotta watch out for what Israel and America do to Iran, because Ezekiel 38 is gonna kick in too. Okay? To where Russia is gonna be a guard to Iran. So you gotta watch out for that too. You see? It's all playing out, man. Okay, go ahead.
And wantonness, not in strife and envy.
Not in strife and envy, man. You see? So you gotta put off that fleshly way and walk in the spirit, man. And be on one accord, man. When you wake up out of sleep, coming back to YAHAWASHI, that's what he requires of you. Get yourself right, man. Because it's hard time to wake up out of sleep, man. You know, we're in the midst of it, man. That's why I throw that out there, what happened and why did World War I start, you know. Why did World War I start? Why did World War II start? And why is World War III start? Niggas, we in it now. It's because we know the deeper part of it, but I'm just touching the surface. The deeper part of it is starting because of, for us, it's prophecy, and we're going to get delivered out of this captivity, okay? But the surface of it, you know what I'm saying, was assassination of a prince. Hitler, World War I was assassination of a prince. Hitler went into Poland. That was World War II. And World War III, look how it's kicking off with NATO into Russia and Ukraine. You see? So we in it. And you got special forces already in Ukraine, man. CIA and special forces in Ukraine, man. I sent this brother articles, man. They in there, man. They fighting. Russia is fighting American troops and other countries of NATO, man. They fighting them, man. In Ukraine right now, man. They might not have on the military fatigue saying that they American, but they under the shadows of Ukraine. Okay? Mercenaries in there, man. They fight. NATO troops is in Ukraine fighting Russia, man. It's going down, man. You can't turn it back. And the Russians know it, man. They ain't stupid. Right. Okay? And that's what takes place. That's what's taking place and going on in the world, man. And you had Russia seize on the eastern part of Russia. You had Russia seize ExxonMobil. Let me get it. ExxonMobil on the eastern part of Russia, but going back to that coal in Donbass, man, that coal is fuel for electricity, man. You see what I'm saying? So the Russians is hoarding it, man. They taking over everything, man. You see, they taking over on that eastern part of the world, man. And the rest of them countries see the strength of them Russians, man. But over here, like I always say, the people been blanketed with lies, man. Okay? And I want to look at something. I want to show y'all something else, man. I want to show y'all something else, man. Before the brother continue to read on, let me see if I can find it here. Now this just happened, man.
President Vladimir Putin has gifted Russia something big on his 70th birthday. He has just snatched a huge oil and gas project from the United States of America. Putin signed a decree on the 7th of October that will make Russia take over the operations of ExxonMobil in the Sakhalin-1 oil and gas project. ExxonMobil is an American energy giant. Russia is now the biggest operator of the Sakhalin-1 oil and gas development project located off the coast of Sakhalin Island in Russia's Far East. This takeover from Exxon is yet another one of Vladimir Putin's signature moves to cripple and choke Western energy properties in Russia. Exxon holds a 30% operator stake in Sakhalin-1, while Russian company Rosneft, India's ONGC Videsh, and Japan's Sodeco are its partners. Now, Russia operates Exxon's 30% stake. The Sakhalin-1 fields in the Russian Far East are estimated to contain 4.5 billion barrels of oil and 17 trillion cubic feet of gas. Sakhalin-1 is a valuable non-Middle East source for Japan, which depends on the Middle East for 90% of its crude oil imports. This is what makes this project so valuable for Russia, Japan, and India. Until recently, it was quite lucrative for the United States as well, and ExxonMobil's involvement helped produce 270,000 barrels of oil per day. ExxonMobil has been trying to exit its Russia operations and transfer its role in Sakhalin-1 to a partner since March. It has also reduced energy production and moved staff out of the country. For this, Exxon took an impairment charge of $4.6 billion in April 2022. In August, Putin issued a decree that Exxon said made a financial exit from Sakhalin-1 difficult. According to the latest decree, Putin will establish a company managed by a Rosneft subsidiary to own investors' rights in Sakhalin-1. Japan's Sodeco, which owns a 30% stake in Sakhalin-1 project, avoided any comments. Putin used a similar strategy in July to seize control of the Sakhalin-2, where the United Kingdom's Shell and Japan's Mitsui & Co. and Mitsubishi Corporation were partners. In 2005, India commenced oil and gas production at Sakhalin-1 project. In fact, India's ONGC has a 20% stake in the Sakhalin-1 project. ONGC exports a Russian-grade fuel known as Sokol produced in Sakhalin-1 through tenders. Sokol is mostly bought by North Asian buyers and loaded from South Korea. Indian energy giants ONGC Videsh and BPCL too did not comment on the latest decree by Putin. India is purchasing Russian oil at steep discounts after oil companies and countries in the West sanctioned Russian crude. Putin is also trying to get back at Europe for seizing Russian assets. Germany recently seized 3 Russian oil refineries in an escalation of the energy war with Russia. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said that taking the plants was a far-reaching energy policy decision to protect the country. The EU is also asking Italy to follow suit. The seizure of Russian assets across Europe would have definitely played a big role in motivating Putin to do the same within Russia. Is Russia's takeover of ExxonMobil's assets a far-fetched plan, or is it an act of revenge over the European seizure of Russian energy assets? Do let us know.
So you can see they at war, man. They at war, man. You can see they at war, man. And that's what's taking place, man. So